All right. Hello, everybody. Let's see. How bad does all the stuff behind me look? All right. Good to see folks. Welcome to rehearsal. Carlton. Hey, you know what? All the Latin chanting could come here if you want to be a monk. It's pretty good. Ruth, great to see you. Great to be here. All right. Oh, George, thanks for letting me know. I'm glad you were here. Glad folks are here. Glad folks are joining us. Dig into one of my favorite movements of the work tonight. We'll do a little review first to get our voices and our minds going, and also hopefully midway through rehearsal give you a little update about where sort of our heads are and our plans are for the future. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Welcome. Hello, caffeine today. Long Sunday of figuring out church stuff. I'm happy to be here. Let's see. Make sure I got this. Oh. You know, these are very catchy movements. They are easy to get stuck in your head. There's no doubt about that. And, you know, the offertory of the, you know, not catchy by any means, is very distinctive. The Poor Requiem is starting to be people's friends. That is such good news that we log in here tonight. I tell you, I'll say it again tonight, especially as we sort of introduce the offertory, because it's been several years since I've dug back into this piece as well. And I keep saying, coming back to it, older, smarter in this time has changed it for me in many ways. And so I still look forward to us continuing to discover this and figure it out and perform it and record it and all of those different things. Of course, wish we were all still together, but it's wonderful to just sort of experience this piece together in this way. So let's see, we'll give everyone just one more minute. I know some folks have opted to watch this later. I know because they have a full afternoon of cooking maybe on their hands or something like that. But I just want to say too that again, one of the beauties of the mode we're in is you can rewatch any of these rehearsals on your own time. They're logged on our YouTube channel for you, labeled with the date and stuff. The link is still good. So again, if something happens in your house, you burn whatever's in the oven, or you have to get up and leave for a second, these rehearsals are always there for you to rewatch as many times as you want, which I think is an important sort of aspect of things. And I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm going to take one more sip of coffee to wake myself up, and then we'll get going. With my Baby Yoda coffee mug from my sister. I'm a big Star Wars fan, big Mandalorian fan, big basically nerd stuff altogether. But this is the coffee tastes better out of this. I can't explain it. All right, well, let's get rolling, folks. It is 3:30, and we'll have about an hour and change of rehearsal here this evening. Now, welcome to rehearsal. Whether you are watching this later tonight, post the Super Bowl, or on Monday when you're trying to catch up on rehearsal, or maybe next Saturday, no matter when you're watching it. And thank you again for those of you who are live with us tonight or will join us in the next couple minutes. It's great to be with you here. Tonight, the agenda is simple. We're going to start with a little review of the first movement just to get our brains moving after we warm up. And then we're going to dig into the offertory, which will take some real slow woodshedding, some real slow work to get through it, but totally worth it. And I've personally discovered some really cool new aspects of this movement this week that I can't wait to share with you. And then we'll review the Liberame and the Sanctus, and then be on our way to go sit and have some nachos or whatever it is you're making. Or if the Super Bowl's not your thing, just to go enjoy your evening there. We will have, I know next week is Valentine's Day. We will have rehearsal at our normal 6 p.m. time. Just so y'all know, if you have a romantic dinner planned that day, feel free to take a pause. Again, these rehearsals will all be banked for you to watch later, but we are just going to keep forward with our rehearsal next week as well. All right, well, let's get rolling. Let's sit up tall no matter where we are. Let's stretch with one arm. Oh, yeah, switch to the other arm. Very nice. Roll your shoulders forward. Roll them back. Everyone to breathe in for 4 and out for 4. Ready? Breathe in. Out. Good. In for 4, out for 8. Ready? Breathe in. Out. Good. In for 4, out for 16. Ready? Breathe in. And good. In for 4, out for 20. Ready? Breathe in. Out. Out. Good. All right. Veil, 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 veil. Veil, 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 veil. Nice and loose. Veil, 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 veil. 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 One more. Veil, 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 veil. Nice job. Let's now sing me, 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 God. One more side. Whee! Nice. All right. I love to sing. Let's go. I love to sing. Ready? I love to sing. 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 One more. I love to sing. Very nice. All right, everybody. Let's get started. All right, let's begin right at the Kyrie. I want to start right at the beginning of the piece with the introit and Kyrie. Measure 1, movement 1 as a little review. Now, as a little reminder, I just want to do a run through this. I just want to go through it. No spots. We'll have a day where we go back and do all your little spots. So get circling and circle those sections that you struggle with as we go through. But for this section, I really just, I want to just do a little run through to get our brains going. So remember, at the beginning, we're very spooky. Right? About measure 7 in this movement. We stay strong, but then start to diminuendo. By the time you get to measures 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, you are just becoming vapor. And that's whether you're recording or whether we're in person. Remember, very soft, very ephemeral. All right, let's start from the beginning. Here we go, everybody. Measure 1, 3, 4. 2, 3, breathe. Really soft here. 1. Silence, and then we begin with the march. Everyone's a tenor in the tenor octave. Here we go. Here we go. Angels, angels coming in. Here we go. Forte, here we go. We're all singing Kyrie, 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 and the one, please stay, and the one, please stay, and please stay. What? Wonderful. A couple of quick things. When we get to that last liaison, can you have a real ooh sound? A liaison. Put your lips around that vowel. Very Minnesota. Now, I would love to go back and look at the end of this, the Kyrie section. Just do one more pass of it. So this begins, and again, make sure you have your measures number, folks. It's going to be the easiest way for us to get around this. Measures where the Kyrie begins. Measure 61, measure 63. Measure 63, where we begin to sing Kyrie, Kyrie. And I'm going back because I wonder if, again, I'm not hearing you, but I know for me, one thing I always forget in this section are the dynamic contrasts, especially when we get to the creastes. Those, I don't think those can be dramatic enough. And so I want to take it apart. At measure 63, can we hear sopranos and altos first? Sopranos and altos. 1, 2, 3, 4. Forte, and 1. Very nice. Now at measure 63, tenors and basses. Tenors and basses at measure 63. Then we'll do it all together to the end. 1, 2, 3, and. Everybody now at 63 to the end. Everyone at 63 to the end. Big dramatic dynamic contrast. 63 to the end. Kyrie, please. 1, 2, 3, and. Fantastic work. All right, well, stay right where you are. Stay on that page because we are now going to go and dig into the second movement, the offertory. So as I said, in the month of January, we framed in the sort of the three longest big chunks of movements to work on. And now we're going to work on the other big three choral movements of this work. And tonight we kick off with the offertory. Now, in person, I find teaching and leading you in the offertory, especially in the first rehearsal, to be one of the most challenging things to do with this piece. And the main reason is twofold. One, a lot of text, as you can look right now, a ton of Latin, words we're not used to sort of speaking. And I'm going to get to that here in a second. The other thing is the piece is in, you see it says it's in 4/4 here at the top, which we know means the quarter note gets the beat. But the quarter note doesn't actually get the beat. This movement, and you can write this at the top, is really in 8. And what I mean by that is, look where the altos come in. I'm going to play and sing the alto part for you. Look at that first alto entrance. It goes like this. So if you notice, the steady beat you're going to want to feel in this movement is actually the 8th note. So tonight we're going to spend a lot of time breaking down this rhythm, and I ask for your patience and for your resilience. You still might have some questions at the end of tonight, but I really want to break it down so we get that in us. The other thing I want you to know from the outset about this movement is, as you see, the opening is, in the long opening, is for altos and tenors, right? Altos and tenors for the first sort of 2 pages. Then, starting at measure 23, the basses join us. And sopranos, you might feel left out. Well, sopranos, I don't want you to feel left out. First off, you get your own part at the end. But much like we all sang the opening movements of the Kyrie all together down the octave, in much the same way that some altos can sing the tenor bass part in the Sanctus, this is one of the moments in the piece where I want the whole choir to be singing. I don't care what your voice part is. So sopranos, join the altos here. Right? This is a great time to join the altos. And basses, up until your bass entrance, I think you should sing with the tenors. It's really not that high. There's a couple of high notes, maybe an F here and there, but mostly it's D's and E's that a lot of our basses can sing. So I want everyone singing. So just from the outset here, especially for the first 20 so measures, if you're a soprano, the first 30 measures, yes, Julia, from the jump, sopranos sing with altos there, and basses go ahead and sing with tenors. And altos that are feeling, frisky, go ahead and sing the tenor part occasionally or switch between. But I want everyone singing. Again, both when we submit our audio recordings for some of these movements or when we sing live, it creates this very spacious sound when we're all singing. And if it's just the alto section, just the tenor section, and the bass and soprano section just sitting there bored, it doesn't work as well. This creates a seamless texture, which is what we want. Because before we start crack-a-lacking at this movement, I want us to sort of know about this text. And I want us to I think it's so important that before we dive into something that is complicated technically, that we remind ourselves of why it's worth it and why the composer took so much time to set a piece in such a way. And so right here I have one of my favorite books of all time. It's called Translations and Annotations of Choral Repertoire by a guy named Richard Jeffers. And what it is he goes and he does a literal translation of all the major Latin texts that one will encounter in choral music. Because what you have in your score here, if you have the English translation, that's what we call poetic translation. So it gets the gist of it. And this poetic translation is pretty good. But he goes ahead and does a word-for-word breakdown of everything. But most importantly in this book, he gives a little history behind the Latin texts themselves, which for me has been invaluable. And I realized upon preparing for tonight, for this afternoon, I didn't know where this text came from. I feel like I'd always just rushed to teach this movement and work on the cool music and all that. So I said, I want to go to the Jeffers. And I read the first paragraph I'm going to read to you here tonight. And I was hit like a ton of bricks. As we are still dealing with this pandemic and suffering the loss of loved ones and of friends and just and seeing this loss around us. This is where the offertory text comes from. Here, this is from the Jeffers. The text for the offertory was formerly a prayer that was recited for the sick who were about to die. It was later adopted into the Requiem Mass for the dead. This accounts for the variant readings of some translations in which defunctorum is rendered as dying instead of departed, and libera as preserved from instead of deliver. And again, back to our point of coming back to this work in this specific time, the fact that the second movement of this work, set in this incredibly beautiful, ancient way, is a prayer for the sick. I mean, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I know you all are artists too, and it'll hit you like a ton of bricks. But that sort of has now guided my thinking about this movement. And when I hear this music, this winding, intertwined music, all those dissonances, and then harmony. Right? It just all suddenly makes a ton of sense to me. And so let's dig in. All right. So now we know the why of why we're doing this movement. And now we can dig in and try to figure out the how. So here's how I want to start tonight. I really want to start really dictatorial. And what I mean by that is I want us to, we're going to start by in the rhythm of the first 14 measures, one part at a time. So I'm going to refer to altos and tenors because that's what's in my score. But again, sopranos and basses, whatever part you decide to sing in this moment, just know I'm talking to you too. So I want to start by in the rhythm of the alto part, okay? We're just going to go from measure 7, pick up the 7 when you come in, to measure 14. All right, here we go, everybody. In the rhythm, pick up to measure 7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Stop. Very good. Let's do that again. And again, I'm clicking the 8th note. So that's our 8th note. All right, one more time. In the rhythm, pick up to measure 7, the alto part. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. And stop. Good. Take that, study that. Now tenors, I want to start with you, everyone singing the tenor part, and basses and altos and tenors alike that are singing there at measure 7. This is the in the rhythm of the tenor part. And then we're going to put it on pitch. Okay? Here we go. Here we go, tenors. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and. off. All right, tenors, one more time, ching the rhythm. Then altos, we're going to go and sing your part on DDD. All right, here we go. Tenors, ching the rhythm at measure 7. 4, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Off. Off. Very nice. All right, now back to pick up to 7, altos on DDD. Here we go, altos, you ready? 1, 2, and altos including sopranos. 1, pick up to measure 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1. Very good, everybody. Very good. I'm cycling. Judith, does it mean I'm spinning around? You might just want to refresh there. It might help you. All right. Let's now do. Oh no! Oh no! Did I have a moment? Did I have a moment? I'm so sorry. Let me see where that moment was. So weird. Okay, here we go. Altos. Let's start at again. The joys of virtual rehearsal. All right, Misty, Judith, everyone, we're going to go pick up to measure, started with the notes. All right. All right, that's where we're going to start then. All right, thank you for letting me know. Good. Alto part, pick up to measure 7. All right, we all there? All right, hopefully I don't freeze again. Here we go. I got my little monitor over here so I can see. All right, here we go. Altos, this is your starting note. Pick up to measure 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And 1. Off. Thank you for alerting me about my little blip there. All right, now back to measure 7. Tenors. Tenors and measure 7. Altos, you can sing along with us. All right. So tenors, the altos come in first. They come in with. Then here comes tenors. And 1. Off. Very good. All right, let's try putting that together. Now, one thing to make note of is there's a few moments in this where the tenors go above the altos, and altos obviously go below the tenors. So hold on. All right, everyone on DDD, starting with the altos, pick up to measure 7. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Tenor. Now this is easy, same rhythm. And up, 1. Off. All right, let's do that again. I know there was probably a lot of confusion, but we're going to work this section and we're going to work to the end of this opening section too tonight. All right? You're doing great, folks. Thank you for alerting me to blip. Stay with me. Here we go. Starting with the altos, pick up a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Alto. Together. Ready and 1. Sight read on. All right. Pick up the 15. Can we do a little sight reading? Sight reading on DDD. No text yet. You'll notice the rhythm is very similar. That's why I think we can do a little more sight reading. All right, here we go. Pick up to 15. Oh, just a step higher, altos. All right. Pick up to measure 15. Altos. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alto. Tenor. Keep going. And 1, and 2, and off. All right, let's work that section, right? Not easy to sight read at all. All right, pick up to measure 15. And can we just hear altos and sopranos, obviously? Anyone singing that upper line on DDD? All right, altos, sopranos, you ready? Pick up to measure 15. Starting on that G sharp. Here we go. Ready and 1. Stop there. Good. Pick up the measure 15 again. Just altos. Just altos. In sopranos, pick up the measure 15. Tenors, we're coming for you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Good, and stop there. Very good. Tenors, measure 15, tenors. You all are doing so well. This is the hardest movement to learn in person. It's going to be the hardest movement, even harder to learn virtually. You're doing amazing. Measure 15, tenors. Here you go, tenors. 3, 4, 1. Good, Very nice. Pick up to measure 15. Both parts. Both parts. Pick up the measure 15. Doing your best on DDD. Okay, again, we're just framing in today. We're going to spend so many weeks on this. Again, I keep reassuring you because I know you all are such perfectionists. You are so driving it for it to be correct right away. And this movement just takes a little bit longer to sit into your body. So again, whatever you got to do, if you got to the rhythm, if you just have to listen, if you want to start to mouth the text, whatever you need to do in your own home to get you there is what you need. But I think singing on DDD right now is going to be really helpful for us. Okay? Pick up to measure 15 altos, and then followed by tenors right in 15. All right, altos, here we go. On your G sharp. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Good. And now we're all looking at pick up to 19. All right, pick up to 19. We're all starting with the 8th note before we come in on the word is day. But we're going to sing it on DDD, and we're going to sight read it together. D, alto note, tenor note, pick up to measure 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And da, da. Off. Basses, your time has almost come. Your time has almost come, basses. All right. Can we do that again? Pick up to 19, the 8th note before we get into 19. Alto and tenor. And then we're going to try to do this whole section together. I know it's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the and. Off. All right, everyone, all the way back to pick up to 15. Pick up to 15, alto and tenor. Obviously, we want the whole choir singing along. Thank you, sopranos that are singing alto. Thank you, basses singing tenor. We'll create this amazing sound. All right, pick up to 15, starting with the upper part, soprano and alto. Tenors you come in on. Here we go. Alto starts 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Pick up to 19. And the and. And pause. All right. I know not perfect, but I hope we're getting somewhere closer to getting the idea. Now, let's look at this next section. Basses, you come in now. Yay, basses come in. But altos, of course, and sopranos lead us in before that. This is probably the trickiest section. Tenors, you might already be having a little panic attack looking at your part there. As you see it comes in, it is really... Nothing's as hard as that. But how about this? Let's start taking it apart. Pick up to 23, just sopranos and altos. Sopranos and altos, top line, pick up to 23. If you notice sopranos and altos, it's just another step up. So we started here, then now. Slightly different, but again, it's those little hooks that you can have to lean on. All right, pick up to 23 on DDD, top line, sopranos and altos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It is a beautiful line. I mean, it just sort of sings itself. Let's do that again. Altos and sopranos pick up to 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Beautiful. Now, basses. Can I hear the basses? You get your own part. Basses alone at measure 23. Basses alone at measure 23. All right, here we go. Basses. At measure 23. 3, 4, 1. Oh, it's such cool harmony. And again, what might help some of us if you're having some counting woes is try to keep that steady eighth note somewhere on your body, in your foot, on your lap, on your music. That steady eighth note tap is actually going to help you really, really try to sort of lock this in. All right, measure 23. Basses again, then tenors will get to your part, which is quite something. Here we go, 23 basses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Off. Very good. All right, tenors, your turn. Measure 23, tenors. All right. So proud of you all for hanging in here tonight. This is hard music. All right, here we go, tenors. 1, 2, 3. Tenors, good for you. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. Off. All right. Now, dare we try to put this together? Probably not, but let's do it. Pick up to measure 23. All right, here we go. Altos and sopranos come in first. 1, 2, 3. Altos, go. Bass. Section, these last two little notes in a second. Let's try that again. I know it's so intertwined. And again, one thing I would suggest you to do is when you leave here tonight, sometime this week, give this whole opening of this movement a listen, because that is really going to help you sort of lock in this tonight. And the other reason, just a reminder, the reason we're not going to sing any text tonight is for this movement in particular. The text is really going to mess you up. And that if you learn the rhythm of the notes raw, even if that's really hard at first, I know for some people they use, you found the final C. Yeah. That if you, they find that, I want the words as an anchor, the text as an anchor. And I do like to give that to you all. I think that's important. In this movement, though, in my experience, the words, the way they are lined up is really tricky. So if you can learn to get the harmony and the pitches in your ear and the rhythm in your ear, even if that is a real challenge for you individually or personally, I guarantee you down the road, you're going to be thankful for this when we add the text. Because if we just started tonight saying, O Domine Jesu Christe, Rex Gloriae, O Domine, if you just started doing that tonight, it wouldn't, I promise it wouldn't lock and you wouldn't learn it as well as you'd want to. So We're going to do it the hard way because we got time. All right, here we go. Pick up to 23. All right, pick up to 23. Then we'll do this whole movement from the beginning, and then we'll review a few more movements here at the end of the night. Again, tonight is just the first step. This is really our month's work. All right, here we go. Altos. Here we go, altos and sopranos. Pick up to 23. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bass. Good. Let's go back one more time. Pick up to 23. Pick up to 23. Alto sopranos. 3, 4, 1. Let's go on. Just learn these last 2 notes in this section. Good. Let's learn these little interjections. Yes, Ruth, I want the beat on the T on beat 2 in measure 28. Yes. All right. So can everyone on the full beat 2, not on the 8th note. All right. Measure 27. Can we just sing these notes real quick? Measure 27. Altos first. Alto sopranos. Here we're ready, and alto soprano. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Very good. Very, very good. All right. Now let's do where am I? Now let's do tenors there. Tenors there. All right. 27. 1 and 2 and tenor. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Very nice, very nice. Can we now hear bass? 1 and 2 and 3. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Off. Very nice. All right. Whew. That was a lot to take in, right? Let's just try to have a little bow on this learning, this framing tonight. And then next week, again, we're just going to keep adding. Okay. I just encourage you to be patient with yourself, patient with the process. Just like some of you were saying at the beginning of rehearsal in the chat, I wake up with some of these movements in my head. You're going to have these movements in your head sooner than later. All right. Pick up to measure 7. All the way back to measure 7. Turn back. Here we go. We're going to do this whole opening together. Just to put a little bow on tonight. Even though that bow isn't tied very nicely tonight, we're just going to do a little review, a little sink or swim. I encourage you to circle, to identify where you get off so that you know where to look when you're going and listening this week. Or when we have rehearsals where I'm asking for parts and measures that get you, those are the things you can put in the chat or email to us or to put on Facebook or somewhere so that we can start to see and I can sort of develop where those trouble spots are. All right, because it's going to be different for all of us, but also the same. All right, pick up to 7. Everyone's on DDD. Whatever you want to sing at home. Again, if you just want to chill the rhythm, whatever you want. But we're going to start at pick up to 7 with the altos, sopranos, tenors. You come in soon after. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Here we go. Pick up to 19. And 3 and altos last time. Bass. Here we go. All together. And off. All right. Everyone raise your right hand and give yourself a pat on the back. Really good work. I know that is hard. I know that's a lot. It's why I waited to get into it till we had other parts of the piece. But again, really proud of you. All right. Turn to the Libera Me. Let's end our night doing the Libera Me and Sanctus. Just so we could sort of do a little review. I am a musical teacher. There's nothing wrong with patting yourself on the back. You should all be your biggest heroes. You should all be, your biggest supporters. We have to support each other in this. And as you're turning to the Libera Me, so we end tonight really singing stuff we have a little more experience with, a little more work with. Just to give you an update. So we're in February, obviously. Hi, welcome. Our first rehearsal of February. Like I said, we're going to keep working through this piece. Jane has ordered, and we're ordering copies of the Ola Hielo piece. And again, we'll have that set up for you all for a music pickup as soon as they come in, and we'll send you info about that. And we'll give you plenty of time to get that music before the first time we rehearse it. And again, some folks have reached out to your section leaders or to us, asking sort of, what do we think the concert premiere weekend's going to be virtually online? When are some of the outdoor things going to start again? I will say that we're just waiting and watching numbers in the area. Obviously, weather has been a concern as well. It looks like we're going to have a bit of a blustery February. But I hope as soon as makes sense to start our outdoor events again. And as the COVID numbers improve in Loudoun County, in the area, hopefully, that we can start to think about some perhaps safe in-person things to do indoors. But of course, we're going to offer safe recording options outdoors. And of course, these virtual rehearsals and virtual recordings that go into this final project are going to keep going. So what I hope is that by the end of this month, we should have a rock solid plan for you all for March and April and May. Because we know everyone wants to be involved and wants to have these on their calendars and wants to space their time. And I want to have those plans as well. But of course, we're in a really unprecedented situation where we are having to be flexible. And you all have been so flexible in this time. And I'm so thankful for you in doing that and in your learning of this piece. I know no matter how we put this together, it's going to be meaningful and powerful. And Ruth, yes, there is a recording of the new piece, Ola Hielo, The Lake Isle. You just search it on YouTube or Spotify, or there's a million recordings of it. And so I hope you enjoy going and listen to it. It's quite magical. All right, so again, February, I know we're all feeling that pandemic fatigue, that locked in fatigue. We're like, oh my gosh, please give me my spring plans. And know that I am actively working on it, actively trying to get those things together and make a plan for us to do it. But know that we just are waiting for a little more information and to watch some of the trends in our area start to improve. And so that we can make a plan that we can stick with. What I really don't want to do is get everyone's hopes up for something and then have to take it away. So I really want us to just start thinking. And so by the end of this month, I hope to have some more sort of structure for you all. Because I know I want that structure. I know you want that structure. But in the meantime, we're going to become Flore Requiem experts. We're going to support each other and be with each other in community weekly. And I'm just looking forward to what we can do. I think this is going to be a special, special virtual presentation come the spring. All right, everybody. Let's do a little Libera Me. Libera Me. Again, it's funny. The offertory movement we spent so much hard work on tonight, that to me feels like a Renaissance piece. All those parts intertwining, right? That feels like ancient music. This feels like opera of the current 19th century. Well, we're not currently in the 19th century, But when Fauré wrote this, Grand Opera was the current. It was the en vogue thing, right? So this feels very of his time. I feel like he's writing this of his time. All right, I need a little Baby Yoda juice. And let's do it. Here we go. Everyone's the soloist at the beginning. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Alto bass. Oh, sorry, you got cut off there. Now, here we go. We're all solo. Soloist goes. Perfection. You were all perfect, right? You nailed it. Good for you. I want to do one section in this real quick since we have a little time in our little hour and 10-minute virtual rehearsals we've been doing. Let's go back and just run the tremen section again. So that's back to measure 37. I know for me, the hardest part about this section, the tremens into the dies and the day of wrath, day of judgment, is all the text. So I think we'll just take it a drop slower so we get a little more chance of getting more of those words in. Someone asked this week why it is dies magna, not magna. And I am no Latin expert. That's just how I was taught to say it. It's like Magnificat, right? I think something about the N coming before the G. I was a very lazy Latin student. I actually took Latin in high school. And I was fairly lazy at it. But I had to do, I'm saying so many settings of the Magnificat and of the Requiem. And that's how I've always done it. So If there's someone who has a better answer or could prove me wrong, I would appreciate it. Thank you in advance. So, tremens. Measure 37. Measure 37 tremens. A little slower. A little slower. A little slower. All right. Pieces that you're starting now. Alto. Soprano tremens. Measure 37. 1, 2, slower, and. Here we go. Alto bass. Very nice. All right. Let's do a little sanctus to end our evening. A little sanctus to end our evening. All right. So, real quick, before we go again, we'll have a normal rehearsal next week. If you have a romantic Valentine's date, I hope you do that and do that. Oh no, my Latin's probably right, Ruth. But I will ask Beverly. I always go to Beverly for all sorts of life questions. Beverly's always there for me. All right, now let's do a little sanctus. So, so real quick about next week. If you want to look ahead, I would encourage you to review the offertory section, review that movement too, all that stuff we sort of did a real cursory overview of. And if you want, skip the baritone solo in the offertory and head right to the very ending. All right, all 4 parts, and give that a listen. Also, there's a little magical thing that happens at the very end of the movement musically that's like the greatest thing ever. And I was tempted to push forward to it this week, but I had some patience because I didn't want to super overwhelm everyone. But if you go and listen to the end of the offertory, you get a big musical surprise. One of the greatest moments, I think, in choral music. So again, if you're going to listen to something before next week, listen. I mean, there's so many different practice track apps out there. We've been sending one around in the weekly email. I know Ruth and Ainsley and folks have collated those as well. We want to record. Everyone's got a favorite. So again, go ahead if that helps you to go listen before rehearsal so you feel a little more together. That'll be awesome. And speaking of Beverly, I hope to get rehearsing with her soon again so that I can focus a little more on singing and conducting and she can play. As soon as the weather clears up and we feel like we got a good Sunday to do that, we will make that happen. All right. Well, it's been wonderful being with you tonight, as always. Studying that offertory this afternoon put me in the best mood. This piece just continues, I think, to be the piece of this moment. So I am so looking forward to working on it and presenting it. I mean, people are going to need to hear this. People are going to need to hear this in May of this year. So I am pumped. All right. Joyful. Sanctus. Go Chiefs, I guess. I don't know. Manya. Uh-oh. Da-da. Dun-dun. Carol's bringing it. Carol's bringing the Latin. I love it. All right. I'm going to go listen to a bunch of recordings. I'm going to fix my Latin. You all are keeping me in check, and I love it. All right. Let's do a little Sanctus. All right. Here we go. Sanctus, everybody. Here we go. I love it. I love ending our nights with that amazing piece. So I hope you guys have the best week ever of all time. Carol, thank you for the Catholic schooling and the Latin schooling there. I so need that. Together, we're going to make this happen, everybody. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, everyone, enjoy the game if you're watching. Enjoy the Puppy Bowl if that's more your speed. But nonetheless, I can't wait to see you next week. Go give the offertory a listen. And I hope to see you all in person or in recording in all those ways sooner rather than later. All right, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye.